I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Whoa, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Whoa, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Claudio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond, as we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom. We're on the shores of Lake Superior today. We're on Chequamegon Bay, right? Did I get it right?
Correct.
You got it right, guys. Okay. We're going to go smallmouth bass fishing, but it's going to be kind of unique the way we're going to do it. You know, this is Dave Rasmussen, a friend of mine who we've other parts of our life got to know each other. It turned out we have similar interests and a lot of similar friends throughout the United States in the fishing industry. And he's been talking to me about this, and we want to tell you a little bit about it. We're going to get out and do it. Well, Dave, why don't you introduce our friends here today?
Okay, we have Pat Ehlers from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's the owner of the Fly Fishers. And Roger LaPenter with Anglers All up here in Ashland, Wisconsin.
You know what? You guys are both guides, right?
Right.
And we're going to do something. Now, we're going smallmouth bass fishing on Chequamegon Bay and Lake Superior. And we may do some traditional spin fishing and some things like that. But the real thing that we want to show you today is you guys approach this a different way, don't you?
Yeah, we've got a little bit different look at the way we go for the fish. Roger, being up here, we've got kind of a co-op effort going between our shops, and we've kind of come up with a way. Of course, he's more the guy up here. He's kind of the guru of the bay. Tell him a little bit about what we're doing up here with our boats and that.
Well, we've got large flats out here, just like you'd find down in Florida or the Bahamas. Big sand flats that run several miles long. And we use Florida flats boats, basically. We'll pole the people and point fish out to them, just identical to bone fishing or tarpon fishing or permit fishing.
So you get the idea. We're going to take flats boats like you would use down in the Florida Keys, tarpon and bone fishing, but we're going to be on Lake Superior fishing for smallmouth bass. I mean, Dave's been talking to me about this for a long time. We've been planning. We want to get up here and give it a try. It's been just it sounds like an awesome experience, guys. You know, during the course of the day's show, we're going to give you phone numbers for these guys, how to get a hold of them, and if you want to come up and experience this, it's what times of the year will people come up and do this?
Well, our fishing starts around the 15th of May. It depends if the ice is out of the bay or not. Right after the ice is out, the fish move into the shallow waters. And it's usually good through October.
Well, we're up here. It's the middle of June. But I tell you what, guys, I can't wait to get out. We'll tell you more about what we're doing when we get out there, but we want to get out. Chequamegon Bay, Lake Superior, fly fishing from flats boats for smallmouth bass. Let's go get them.
All right.
Okay, good.
Yep, there you go. Pick it up real quick, reel it in, and throw right to that dark spot in front of you there.
Oop, way over.
That might work. Nope, not too close. Okay, but now you kind of, there's another one out here. Now you kind of see how this game is played.
Okay. Now when I cast, do I want to put the lure right in the dark spot? Or
Yes,
do I
well, you can just
cast it and bring it in? Or look at that
see,
fish
we've
right
got
here.
fish all over in here.
And he's spooked, so it wouldn't do any good to cast him. He's been spooked.
Once we're that close to the boat, yeah, but there's another one outside of it.
Okay.
What you want to do is just overcast it a little bit and run it
in.
past the dark spot.
Okay.
If you hit it, that's fine. You're better to hit the dark spot than not at all. But if you want to just cast a foot or two past it, that dark spot might be a little patch of weeds. Notice this is all sand. There's not a lot of rock up here. And any little patch of gravel will hold fish. The sticks, the only real structure out here is the wood that's been kind of dumped in here from the loggers years past. They used to run big rafts of logs out here. They broke up in storms, and then they just kind of settled in on the bay. And all that timber that's down here is what's the structure that holds these fish. But you will find weed patches in here. What happens on these flats in the evening is we'll get insect hatches because of the weeds, and then the shiners come in to feed on those little midges and then that draws the bass in.
Okay.
That's kind of the way it works, just like a bone fishing or red fishing type deal out here.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, like I was saying, in case you just tuned in, we're not on the Florida Flats fishing for tarpon or permit. We're on Lake Superior. Now, I know this doesn't look like a Lake Superior setup, but we're on a tremendous sand flat off Chequamegon Bay, Lake Superior, and we're actually fishing, sight fishing for smallmouth bass. And this is incredible. We have seen so many, we've just been out here a few minutes, and I've seen so many large smallmouth already. What'll happen, Pat will be pointing to, we've got Dave up front with a fly rod, and I'm back here, and we may do some switching around. And Pat's pulling, and he'll point the fish out, and we'll cast to him, and if I get lucky enough to cast to one, I might catch one, but we're just, it's just incredible, the fish we're seeing already. Yeah.
Okay, Dave, I got a dark spot at about 9 o'clock, a couple of them. And I'll get the boat turned for you. You see them out there about 40 feet away? Okay. We should have fish in there. There you go. Now just let that sink and strip it through there. Good.
Dave.
Way to go.
First fish, can I help you here, Dave?
Oh, we can get tangled up ourselves.
Oh, nice fish. Now, is this an average fish?
That's an average fish.
That's a nice smallmouth.
We get more 18 inchers than we do 12s up here.
You get him
Nice
close,
cast,
I'll lip him
Dave.
for you.
You see what I mean, Terry, about
Oh.
having to hit that dark spot?
Yeah, that was great. You know, the only bad part is I hate to see Dave catch the first fish.
Well, you know what they say about that? He buys beers all night.
Yeah. That's not a bad smallmouth anywhere.
That's about 16, 17 inches there.
Oh, that's a nice fish. You know what? You talked about the length, but these have got shoulders on them.
That smallmouth, it's a subspecies of the smallmouth that's native to this bay itself. There's a lot of currents in here. They have a little bit bigger tail, and they're actually a little bit stronger than a standard lake smallmouth.
That's a clouser?
It's a
Once you
big,
get that wet so it
oversized
straightens out, we'll show them
clouser
real
minnow.
quick. We just started. You know, we've been fishing for all of 15 minutes to get just an average fish, huh?
That's right.
I'll tell you what, that's pretty awesome. Smallmouth are my favorite. What a fighter, what a beautiful fish. Good job, Dave.
Thanks. One of the other reasons that the fish are those size in the area here is because of the conservation types of rules and regulations that they have in place now as well. And Roger, that we met earlier, he's a person that's really responsible for a lot of what's going on.
Let's get this one back in the water.
Yep.
And then we'll show him that clouser minnow. There he goes.
Yeah, Roger, he was kind of instrumental. There's a one fish limit, 22-inch minimum here, and it's just turned this into the most wonderful trophy smallmouth fishery.
For you.
It's time now for Terry's tackle tip of the week.
Those of you that are fly fishermen, we'll show you some close-ups. Got a clouser minnow. Is this a typical color? Kind of a minnow.
Purple and white, it's kind of a color that we use up here. It's a good imitation of the emerald shiner. When you think emerald, you think of green, but they have kind of prismatic colors, and that purple comes out in them. You notice we got a bass bug hook on there, so it's a little bit wider than a typical clouser hook, so we get a little bit more bite, and it's a little bit oversized. Tied sparse, but a little bit longer in the hair. They work real well for us.
Good job.
Great. Thank
Well,
you.
let's see if we can hook up another one.
Okay, you know, you have to get a fish too.
I will.
Okay.
Hey, it's my show. I always get a fish.
That was Terry's tackle tip for this week, and now back to more angling adventures.
Anywhere in there.
There we go.
There we go. All right, Terry. Good job.
Not a big one. This is that little one that you said didn't exist.
It's a little rock bass.
So yeah, it's not even a smallmouth, a little rock bass. Well, a fish anyway.
Rock bats have to eat too.
Fishing for smallmouth, but I needed to get warmed up and break the ice. So
Those guys got to make a living too.
That's right. Though they have to eat too, you know. Oh, Roger's got one on?
Hey, Roger does, yep.
Yes, he does. Roger's in the boat next to us, and he's got a smallmouth on, I hope. Looks like on the fly rod. Oh yeah, he's got a good bend in that rod. So, is Roger pretty instrumental in getting people started coming out here doing this, or is he just kind of
that shop? They've been up here for over 20 years, and you watch that fishery develop, and it was a big help to developing it. And he's gotten a lot of people excited over smallmouth.
Who really started the first fly fishing like this for him on these flats?
Roger.
There we go.
There we go, Terry. All right.
You know, I must be getting better at this because I actually saw him swimming and cast to him before you told me.
There you go.
I'm old, but I can be taught. Well, that's a nice fish.
Look at the hydraulic action of that tail.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
It's powerful.
They're just beautiful, beautiful fish.
I don't think he's too happy with you.
No, he's not.
He doesn't realize you came all the way from Colorado to do this.
No. Boy, they're nice fish. I mean, I haven't seen a little one yet. You know, Dave caught one on a fly rod, and I've been trying the spinning rod.
Good job, Terry.
Well, we'll get him over here. Once I touch him, he counts, right? I want to be careful with him. I don't want to beat him up when I land him.
Let's see what you got there.
Here we go. It's not as...
There you go.
You know, I hate to say it, it's not as big as the one Dave caught, but boy, nice,
That's all right.
healthy smallmouth.
You know, we like to see the small ones too, because that tells us we got juveniles growing up.
Well, that's still a 15-inch fish, and it's got
14,
good
15,
shoulders on
yep.
it, and good solid smallmouth, and broke the ice.
There you go.
I had 5 hits, missed all 5 of them before I got this one, so you're not probably going to get to see all the crap I was taking from the other guys in the boat, but we're on them now.
There
I'll
you
tell you
go.
what, it just shows you can come out here, you know, I'm going to put this back in the water.
Yep.
But there's a regulation here. We're not keeping any, but you can only keep one fish over 22 inches, and you know, to have a fishery like this, I can't do anything but encourage you to come out and enjoy it and release the fish. There's other places you can go and harvest fish. This is a trophy fishery that can service a lot of people for a lot of years. And you know, we're showing you the flats fishing, and we're showing you more fly fishing, but we want to show you can catch them on spinning gear too. And they can even use bait here, can't they?
Yes.
And no matter how you fish, you can come up here. You know, it's incredible. I actually saw that fish swimming in the water off in a dark spot, cast the jig out in front of it, reeled twice, and he smacked it. And it's so cool just having that happen. Well, now I got to get some more.
Welcome to Wisconsin. Let's get a bigger one. There you go, Terry. All right.
Oh,
look
that's
at
a
that.
nicer fish.
Little airborne. Good cast. Way to go. Now you're getting a feel for this stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't like the fact he's hooked, does he?
Nope.
Boy, they're strong. You know, they have to be my favorite of the freshwater fish. Pound for pound, they're just...
And I'm lucky I get to travel around and give talks and that, and you always get asked by these people, if you had one more day, what would you fish for? Everybody thinks you're going to say tarpon or sailfish. It'd be pretty hard pressed for me not to go smallmouth fishing.
Oh, it's my favorite fish.
Yep.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Look at that.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Good job.
Nice one. Come on. He's a little green yet.
Yeah, they're a little bit chameleon. You know, they take on the color of their surroundings, and fish we get off the wood are darker, and these out here in these sandy flats are a little bit lighter color.
Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh, that's a pig. Don't come off. Come on.
There you go, Terry.
There we go.
All right,
Wow.
look at the pretty bars on that.
Man, that is a solid smallmouth. He's got it a little deep here. See
Nice red eyes.
what a pretty, pretty, pretty fish. That's a nice smallmouth anywhere in the world.
You bet.
See if we can get the hook out of him here.
Get off.
I think I can get it okay.
Got him?
There,
Good.
we got it. That's why I wanted to be careful.
You bet.
I'll tell you what, that's worth the trip.
Oh,
Right
good.
there. That's I don't even know how much that weighs, but you know what amazes to me? Look how fat that is for a smallmouth.
Right.
That one's built like me. almost as big around the middle as it is tall.
I'll be quiet back here.
Yeah.
I do have a push pole to defend myself with, but I'll keep quiet.
I'm gonna get that back in the water. I'll tell you what an
Good job, Terry.
awesome fishery. Let's get that one back in the water. Let him go. And away he goes. Thank you, Mr. Smallmouth. Wow, I'll tell you what, folks. We saw us catch some on a fly rod. I'm just pitching a jig. We're just poling around these areas, looking for dark spots, casting just a jig, 3-inch grub on a lead head jig, and I tell you what, they're just ripping it. It's fun. Incredible. I'm gonna see if I can get a few more.
Hey, Roger, how's it going?
Oh, really good. Great day.
Wow, that's a nice smallmouth.
Take that. Yeah, the other side's got big hole, and his gills are all torn up. Looks like he's got some kind of infection. Or one big bait.
Well, Roger, Pat tells me you're pretty responsible for the reason we have a trophy fishery here. That you helped fight for some regulations that really saved this fishery.
We worked real hard to get it closed down. This fishery used to be incredible. When I first came here, every day you fish, you'd have 5 fish over 5 pounds, up to 8 pounds. Every single day you fish. And our average day was probably around 100 fish. Average.
Now, it may not be like that anymore, but it's still pretty great smallmouth bass fishing, as people can see.
It's catch and release is what does it. If you protect them, they're going to grow, and there's enough of them out here to make it fun.
Well, we're going to go see, well, you've been kind of catching more fish than us, so we're going to go find another spot and see if we can do a little better.
Sounds real good.
We'll see in a little bit.
Great day, yep.
Hey, Pat, Dave was telling me you guys actually run a school to teach people how to do this fly fishing for bass right here out of your shop or out of your guide service.
Yeah, this is actually, I believe that was Dave's introduction to this fishery up here. We've been doing a school for about 10, 11 years. Roger, myself, and another friend of ours, Tom Anderson, kind of 3 partners in that. We've got 3 other instructors. And we take 12 people, we do a weekend school, and they've been pretty successful. We get a half a day of classroom where we go over fly casting and knots and where to find the fish, and not just here. In rivers, we got one, Dave? Oh. Not just in the Chequamegon Bay, but in the rivers, because we've got so many of those in the state, inland lakes, and in fact we've got an inland lake that we do some of it because it's just such a great structured lake for finding smallmouth.
You know, the experience I've been having out here and just being spending a day on the water with Pat, I can tell you how knowledgeable he is and how much I've learned about this fishery just in a day of fishing. And I can tell you just from being around here that I'll bet that school is just tremendous. It'd be just a really great way to get into fly fishing for smallmouth and spend 2 days on one of the best smallmouth fisheries in the world.
Hook set too.
Well, after I lost that last one, we pulled the rod out of my hands.
What's with this grunting and groaning, Terry? Is this fun or work?
Concentration. You get old, everything's work, but it's fun work, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what, you know what? I like to give Dave a bad time, but it's going to be hard after today for the fact that he set this up with you for me to come up here. I mean, I just had the time of my life. But he's a beautiful, beautiful fish. There we go. Oh, look at that.
Check that out, Terry.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Whoa. You know, I'm getting spoiled rotten. Oh, he's hooked better than I thought. Well, not too real good, but I'll tell you what, Pat. To continually catch smallmouth after smallmouth like this, fat, chunky. I'll tell you what, folks, anywhere in the country, that's a great smallmouth bass. Let's get that one back in the water. Say, it's just one large smallmouth after another. I've never caught such numbers of quality smallmouth bass in my life. It's just awesome.
You know what I got to say, Terry?
What?
You better grab your rod, brother, and get another one.
All right, let's get going. Hey guys, I want to thank you. That was tremendous. I mean, what you guys have got going on here is awesome. Pat, thanks for taking me out.
Yeah, Terry, thank you.
Dave, thanks for setting it up.
Not a problem.
Roger, thanks for everything up here and with the operation you run up here and what you got going. I'll tell you what, you guys have such a unique experience going out. You know, we were going to show more fly fishing. We got Dave catching a nice one on a fly and got Roger catching some. And I had a few blow up on the popper and I got a little frustrated casting in the wind, so I switched over to spinning gear because I wanted to experience this fishery. But I'll tell you what, whether you fly fish or whether you're a spin fisherman or however you fish, this is a great opportunity to come up here. I'll tell you, just what times of the year does it start happening?
Well, like Roger said, what, middle of May or so.
May, yeah, middle of May. As soon as the ice goes out, and that's usually a safe bet by the middle of May. And then it's good right till the ice comes back in.
Well, if they want to come up, how do they get a hold of you guys?
You can reach us at 715-682-5754.
Is that the Anglers All number?
That's the Anglers All number, or you can give Pat a call down at the Fly Fishers.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll put that, Anglers All and the Fly Fishers, we'll put those numbers up. Fly Fishers in Milwaukee, Anglers right up here, Chequamegon Bay. I almost
good.
I stumbled on it anyway. But I'll tell you what, it's worth the trip up here. If you've ever wanted to catch quality smallmouth bass, you know what, I can't believe that I caught one little one and one that wasn't quite the same size. And I don't know how many I caught today, but they were all, I mean, just these great, chunky, big smallmouth. It's just a tremendous experience.
We hear that a lot, don't we, Roger?
Most people that come up will say this is the biggest smallmouth I've ever caught in my life.
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of the best smallmouth bass fishing experiences I've ever had in my life.
Great.
That's for sure. I tell you what, you got to get up, give these guys a call, give it a try, and join us next week.